This is a Hot Pie Media original.
All right, getting fired sucks. It sucks. No one ever likes it. Truth of the matter is, usually, not always, not fighting about that, usually you find out in the end, or you conclude in the end, can't necessarily blame them, blame me, just wasn't working, whatever. I mean, there's usually a point to it. It just takes a while to get to that space. So getting fired sucks. Does getting fired via Zoom suck more? I'm sure there's people right now, there's people going to listen to this podcast going to say, man, I've been fired on Zoom. I don't know, maybe it's better. I mean, it's never fun to go walking out, right? It's never fun to be treated like a visitor. None of that stuff is okay. It's a horrible experience. Maybe getting fired on Zoom is better. I mean, it's going to suck no matter what, so maybe doing it via Zoom is better. There's a level here that I kind of defend the CEO. I don't know how you're supposed to fire 900 people. Probably better than this, but yeah. Well, he did it. He went there. There's a lot to this. Now, one upside, I guess, to being fired via Zoom, if you'll listen closely, you'll see arguably the upside to getting fired via Zoom, and that is you can drop some F-bombs on them. Because you're going to hear a guy, you're going to get fired on Zoom, but you're also going to hear one of your coworkers go, F you, man. It is the CEO of an online mortgage company. His name is, what a piece of work this guy is, Vishal Garg, G-A-R-G. He fired around 9% of Better.com's workforce via Zoom. Did it a few days ago. And you can decide for yourself if how he went about this was okay. Is there a better way to do it? You can decide for yourself exactly how is the best way to fire 900 people.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. I come to you with not great news. The market has changed, as you know, and we have to move with it in order to survive so that hopefully we can continue to thrive and deliver on a mission. This isn't news that you're going to want to hear, but ultimately it was my decision, and I wanted you to hear from me. It's been a really, really challenging decision to make. This is the second time in my career I'm doing this, and I do not want to do this. The last time I did it, I cried. This time I hope to be stronger. But we are laying off about 15% of the company for reasons. The market, efficiency, and performances, and productivity. If you're on this call, you are...
John McClellan is the co-founder and creator of ATX Hot Sauce in all 50 states, now in several retail outlets as well. So we're going to turn it over to the social media rock chef superstar, and we're going to walk through a few sauces and why you should buy. We've done beat heat, so we're second in line now for the tasting. Don't forget, everyone, go to atxhotsauce.com. So here we go.
All right, so this one is our smoked habanero 5-pepper. We smoke habaneros with ancho, pasilla.
Is that going to hurt?
This one? No,
Yeah.
This one's actually really, really good.
Okay.
This is like your traditional tapatilla, but without the vinegar in it, right? And because of that fermentation process that we've talked about all the time. This one is great on sandwiches, pizzas, things like that. Great on hot wings. I think you're going to really like this one too, especially the smoky flavor with the adobe chipotle and the smoked habaneros. We actually smoked the habaneros before we...
Does that go with the cab?
This would not go with the cab. This would go with the great Chenin Blanc, though.
I knew you were gonna. I teed you up with that one.
Yeah, yeah.
That is good. That's good.
Isn't that good? It's just classic take. Well, it's a new take on a classic item. So it's called smoked habanero 5 pepper.
All right, don't forget
One of my
ATX.
favorites.
Don't forget atxhotsauce.com.
Part of the unlucky group
Dude.
that is being laid off. Your employment here is terminated effective immediately.
Are you kidding me?
What does this mean for what's next? You're going to get an email from HR, askhr@better.com, to your personal email address regarding the details of your severance and your benefits. For all U.S. employees, we're providing 4 weeks of severance, 1 month of full benefits, and 2 months of COBRA, for which we will pay the premium. So 3 months total benefits if you elect for COBRA. If you don't get a communication from askhr@better.com before the end of the day, you can email askhr@better.com. Thank you for each and every one of yours individual contributions to Better.
All right. Well, you heard some groaning. You heard some FUs. That was the team FUs. Probably too wordy. I don't ever want to be in HR. I've never even handed out a business card, so no thanks, no way. I mean, I don't know how else you fire 900 people. I mean, if you sent an email, you'd not like that. Here's where the thing starts to come off the rails. Granted, nobody wants to hear the person firing you say, "I'm going to cry," that kind of stuff. You don't want to hear that. So you can judge how the firing was handled, including what was offered. So they fired 9%. Now, to be honest, that's BS. The market didn't change. The market hasn't changed that much. That's not, I don't know what he's talking about, because he apparently went into a chat room later and apparently pretended to be someone else and said that these were people that were sort of milking the system. That was the accusation. In addition to firing 9%, included in that is the entire diversity, equity, and inclusion team got fired. They, of course, deal with complaints of racism and sexism in the workplace. So you heard some F-bombs in there. Now, he then slammed them for being lazy and accused them of stealing. He's been accused. Now, I don't know anything about the guy. I know nothing about the company. All I know is just what was presented there. It didn't seem that outrageous. If you're going to fire people, it can never be easy. I don't know if there's a better way to handle it than that. That's up to you. He's been accused of being erratic by workers. He doubled down in a scathing blog post, which saw him lay into his staff for, quote, stealing through their laziness. Oof. You got to shut up. Put it on the table and shut up. Say it, shut up. Shut up. He didn't shut up. He then later, I don't know how justified it was. I don't think it sounds very justified to claim that the market has changed. No, the rates haven't changed that much, buddy. You know that. So he comes back later and he rips them. And he rips them for saying, basically, they weren't working hard enough. They weren't worth it. They were lazy. Okay. By the way, this is the same guy, according to Fortune.com, I read further, who once threatened to staple a former business partner to a wall and burn him alive. Okay. He then admitted, I think it could have been phrased differently, but honestly, the sentiment is there. So, this cannot be the first nor the last time that people have been fired by Zoom. I just think leaving everyone's mic up so they can drop some F-bombs is pretty entertaining.
From the Hot Pie Media Studios in Austin, Texas, it's The Jeff Ward Show. Listen at jeffwardshow.com.